I am going to take you on a journey. You see, I set this up so it will work for you no matter what you're currently earning. Welcome to Success Manifestation with Kath Kyle. Manifesting money doesn't just need to be something that you do once. If you're going to manifest money, why not manifest a consistent amount of money per month? When I ask most people how much money they want to manifest each month, $10,000 a month is the most common figure, but you can use this system to manifest any amount of money that you choose. Most people think that you have to work really long hours and work really hard to manifest 10K a month. And while that can be true of some people, it doesn't necessarily have to be true of everyone. And I am going to show you a variety of different ways to manifest a consistent amount of money every month. And if you think about it, not everyone actually works for their money. And I'm going to be sharing a bit more about that in a minute, so stay tuned for that. But regardless of how the money actually comes to you, there is one thing we know for sure. If you don't currently make the amount of money that you desire to make, then you will have to put in some kind of effort. And that kind of effort is mental effort, and this is where manifestation comes in. But manifestation doesn't need to be hard. We are actually using our brains all the time, 24/7. We're constantly thinking thoughts. So why not just replace those thoughts with the thought that will actually manifest the things that you desire? So let's talk about exactly what I would do if I wanted to earn $10,000 every single month, assuming that I'm starting from scratch and assuming I don't earn any money at all right now. However much you currently earn each month, or even if you don't earn any money at all, this is going to apply to you. When I first started manifesting money, I had no job, no income stream, we were just scraping by, we just had a baby, we had no money to even buy the baby new clothes, we had no money for luxuries or even to go and visit our family. And I remember when I first started doing this and I manifested my first $30, and it might not seem like a lot to you, but when you have no spare money and you manifest $30, it feels like you've won the lottery. And within just a few months of me manifesting that first $30, I was earning $10,000 or more every single month, and that soon became my new normal. I have been helping numerous other people manifest consistent sums of money every single month using the money manifestation method that I'm just about to share with you. When people ask me how to manifest money, the very first question that they normally ask is how do I manifest the money? And that is skipping a few steps. Before we look at the how, we need to look at two other steps. We need to look at the why, first of all, then we need to look at the where. And these are steps that are currently missed out from most people's manifestations. And that's often why manifestation doesn't work for you, because we are not using this method. So the first step in the money manifestation method is to decide why. Why do you want the money? What is the purpose of the money? What are you going to do with the money? What are you going to spend the money on? And the reason why we need to decide why we want the money before we manifest the money is because money is pretty meaningless in and of itself. Most people don't actually want the money. They want what money can bring to them. They want to buy things with the money, or they want to feel a certain way because they have the money. Money is meaningless on its own. It's just energy. It's just numbers in a bank account. We need to know why we actually want that money. So if you had 10 grand every single month, what would that mean to you? What would you actually do with that money? You need to decide that before we move on to the next step. If you had 10 grand a month, would you upgrade your home? Would you be able to afford higher amounts of rent each month or a higher mortgage payment? So where would you choose to live? What kind of home would you choose to live in? Maybe you've got your eye on a new car. if you could afford any kind of car payment a month and you had 10 grand to spend on a car payment, what kind of car would you have? Maybe you're more interested in health. If you had 10 grand a month, how healthy could you be? What would you invest in that would improve your health? Maybe you would invest in a personal trainer, maybe a personal chef, maybe you would buy organic foods, maybe you would get regular massages or buy some good quality essential oils. Maybe you're more interested in having more fun. What would you do with 10 grand if you wanted to have more fun each month? Would you go on more regular vacations? Where would you go? Would you go on more day trips? Would you go to more restaurants? Would you meet up with friends and family more often? How about appearance? If you had 10 grand every single month, would you get a new hairstyle? Would you get new clothes? I'm sure a lot of women would think of a lot of things that they wanted to spend money on when it comes to their appearance. I personally am not really interested in a lot of those things, but I know a lot of women are. Maybe you're not interested in buying more stuff. Maybe you're the type of person who wants to save for the future, who wants to invest your money. Would you invest more money into stocks and shares or property? Maybe get yourself an Airbnb or something like that. Do you want to save for generational wealth? How about debt? Would you like to pay off your mortgage, pay off your credit card? Would you like to feel free because you don't have that debt anymore? Maybe you have more of a desire to help other people. Perhaps you want to help your family out, your friends. Maybe you want to give more money to charity. So the why is really important, and you will see in a minute why it's so important, because we can't manifest without knowing the why first. So make sure you've got your why, and let's move on to step number 2. If you went to a financial advisor or a business coach or a wealth coach and you asked them, how do I make $10,000 every single month? They would give you their answer, and their answer might be, you need to start a business, you need to invest in stocks and shares, you need to invest in property. And that would be the answer to your question, how do I make this money? But that's not actually the answer to the question, how do I make the money? That's actually the where. Where does the money come from? A lot of people say you can't manifest the how. When you ask, how do I manifest 10 grand a month? And a lot of people would tell you that it's not your job to decide how you manifest the money. And I totally disagree with this. They're not really talking about how the money comes to you. They're really talking about where the money comes from. How we manifest the money is we do it energetically using manifestation techniques. How the money physically comes to us is the where, and we can manifest the where. When it comes to manifesting where the money comes from, what I suggest you do is you only specify where the money comes from if you have a certain desire for it to come from a certain place. If you do, you know that that desire is put there for a reason, and that's because it's supposed to come from that particular source. What I don't recommend doing is setting the where out of fear. So say, for example, you are desperate to earn a certain amount of money to pay your bills, and you think, well, I have to decide myself where this money is going to come from. I'm really scared. I'm not going to pay my bills. So I'm deciding that I have to get a job because that's what everyone's told me to do. And therefore that's what I need to do. So you've decided the where yourself. You decided you have to get a job, not because it's a desire, but because it's based on fear, and it's based on what everybody else is telling you to do, not what you actually want to do. There are actually 3 main ways that money can come to you. Number 1 is luck. Number 2 is blessings. And number 3 is compensation. So what do they mean? So the first way that you can manifest money is by luck. And these are things like winning contests, winning the lottery, trading, even gambling if you're interested in that, finding money, anything that is luck based, that is random. It's not decided by anybody else based on who you are as a person or what you've done. It's completely based on luck. Now you might be thinking, well, how can I consistently guarantee that I am going to manifest a certain amount of money every single month based on luck. Well, let me tell you, there are actually people out there who do this. There are people who make their sole income based on something that is based on chance. So it's definitely something you can do. And funnily enough, when people are thinking of money and manifesting a certain amount of money, the first thing that normally pops into their head is winning the lottery. And most people think, when I've won the lottery, that's it, I will have made it, all my financial problems will have completely gone away, my life will be sorted, it'll be perfect, forevermore I will be able to afford whatever I want. And unfortunately, this just doesn't happen. When most people win the lottery, it's gone very, very quickly, and they're in a worse off position than they currently were before they actually won the lottery. And this is proven. You can go and look this up. And the reason is because they haven't got their mindset in the place of having this income as their new normal. And that's what we're doing today. We are manifesting a new normal. And that's why I don't teach you to win a large amount of money, is because you don't get your mindset in the right place consistently to bring in that amount of money on a consistent basis. Unless you know how to manage that money, how to invest that money, how to keep that money, how to avoid spending all that money and to waste that money, it's pointless just winning a large amount of money. However, when you get your mindset in the right place, you can consistently win prizes, win money on a regular basis. You can win other things that you might want to spend the money on. You can win vacations, you can win cars, etc., etc. But the main thing you've got to ask yourself is, do you actually desire to have luck as your method of bringing in consistent money every single month? Some people would say honestly, yes, I do desire that to be my main method. But for most of us, that's not what our desire actually is. Our desires haven't been placed there by us. They've been placed there for a reason. We all have our own individual purpose in this world. We all usually have to give something to somebody else in order to receive something. So it's very few people that actually have a desire to consistently win the lottery every single month or win something every single month to sustain themselves. And you do find the rare individuals who seem to have made this into a lifestyle, they are actually helping other people to do this now. So they are giving back and helping other people to manifest in this same way. So we do always have a desire to give back. That's why people who are the wealthiest people in the world give away most of their money and then they teach other people how to do it, because built into us, it's innate into our human nature that we want to give back, we want to help people, and we want to serve. So although it seems like the easy option to manifest consistent winnings every single month, it's actually not the desire of most people, and there's a very good reason for that. So be honest with yourself. Do you really want to consistently win something every single month? Or would you get to the point where you were feeling like you just wanted to give something back? You've been blessed so much and you just want to share something with somebody else. And that brings us on to number 2. The second way to manifest money is to be blessed by other people. In other words, receiving monetary gifts from other people on purpose. So people want to give you money just because they simply want to bless you. It could be family, it could be friends, sometimes it can be complete strangers who just want to give you a gift. And for some people, this does actually sustain them. Being given consistent monetary gifts does actually keep them going. A lot of children get dependent on their parents giving them money consistently, and it doesn't encourage them to go and make any money themselves, and that's just how they live. There are plenty of people out there who consistently are given money each and every month, so that is one of the ways to do that. Another way to be blessed by somebody else's finances is if you actually live with somebody and share their wealth and you share their finances with them. And a typical example is a married couple. One person would spend most of their working day going to work or running a business. The other person spends their time either looking after the kids, managing the home, or giving other types of benefits to their spouse or their partner. There are lots of ways that you can bless other people that you live with. You can bless your partner just by sharing your life with them. And this is a very valid way to consistently make a certain amount of money per month, even if it's not you who makes the money, if you share your money with somebody else. In my marriage, I have been both the breadwinner and also the recipient of the money my husband's been making when I haven't earned a single penny. So I've been on both sides of the equation, and I think that's the whole point in joining together and joining your finances together, is to share your life with somebody else, the ups, the downs, and the work and the joys of life. And money is just one of the things that is nice to share with other people. So ask yourself the question, do you have a desire to have a partnership with somebody else where they make all the money and you provide them some other kind of benefit of being in the relationship with you? Is that your desire? And if it is, that is perfectly fine. There are plenty of people who live like this, and you don't need to feel guilty because you don't earn your own money. So just be true to your own desires. What do you actually desire to do? I have earned my own money all of my life. So when I was in a position for the first time in my life and I didn't have a job and I'd had my first baby and I was supposed to be the stay-at-home mum, and that was supposed to be my job, something in me just wanted to earn money, and that is when I started a business. And that brings me on to number 3. So the third way to receive money is to be compensated. It's through compensation. Compensation for you doing a particular type of work, or you are providing something that somebody else wants to pay for. And this can be either through a job or through a business. You are giving your time, your skills, your expertise, you are creating something for somebody else, and they want to compensate you for that, give you money, and you are giving your time and effort and knowledge to somebody else. And when it comes to receiving money, this is the most common way that most people think of when they think of manifesting money, is what can I do in return for the money so that the money comes directly to me. And when you're talking about compensation, although a lot of jobs could pay you 10 grand a month or whatever you desire, it's not inconceivable. It's actually much more common for you to be able to earn 10 grand a month or more through starting a business. And that's what I've done myself. And that's how I earned my money, is through starting a business, because there's no ceiling to a business. The sky is the limit on your earning. There is no cap. You don't need to go and ask somebody for a raise. You're not really in competition with anybody else for that position. It's just you, your business, and you can just keep on increasing as much as you desire. And the thing with these 3 methods of receiving money, the luck, the blessings, and the compensation, is that it depends on your mindset how likely you think you are to be able to manifest money using that particular method. Because it doesn't matter what manifestation method you are using. If you've got limiting beliefs that are blocking your manifestations and saying things like, well, I'm never going to be able to consistently manifest a winning every month, or I'm never going to be able to find a partner who earns that amount of money and wants to completely support me, or I'm never going to be able to have a job that pays me 10 grand a month, then it doesn't matter how much you are manifesting. If you've got a belief that tells you that's just not possible, then it's not something that is going to manifest for you. And that's the reason why a business is probably the best method for most when it comes to manifesting money, because it's the method that you are going to believe is going to be the method that will manifest the most easily for you. So it depends on what your desires are, and it depends what your level of beliefs are. So now that you've decided the why and the where, we are going to move on to the how. How do we actually manifest this money? So this is really exciting, and this is what I'm going to share with you right now. The manifestation technique that I am sharing with you is called creating a reverse memory. The reason why I call it creating a reverse memory is because we are imagining an event in our imagination and creating a memory about it before it's actually happened. And that's how manifestation actually works. You have to see it in your mind before it happens, and then it will manifest into physical reality. So how we are going to do that is we are going to create a memory based on our why and based on our where. And to do this, we are going to use a combination of visual, auditory, and emotional imagery. So we're going to start with the visual imagery. So think back to your why. Why did you want the money? What did you want to buy with the money? Or where did you want to invest the money or use the money for? Form a picture of that in your imagination, whether it's the house, the car, somebody smiling because you've given them some money, maybe the energy you've got, running on the beach, a picture of you with your new hairdo, your credit card saying 0. If you struggle to form pictures in your imagination, which a lot of people do, I recommend that you get a photo of the object that you want to manifest or something that represents what you're trying to manifest. Now what you're going to do is you're going to mentally imagine yourself in that scene using the thing that you desire. So if it's a house, you're going to be in the house, living in the house. If it's a car, you're going to be driving the car. It might be you getting a massage, running on the beach, using essential oils. It might be you on vacation, maybe looking in the mirror, looking at your appearance, using the computer to transfer money into your investment account, or you opening a letter showing your credit card bill at 0. And now what we're going to do is we are going to put the auditory imagery into the imaginary scene. So you are going to place another person into the scene who you are going to be having a conversation with. You can either physically place this person into the scene or you can be talking to them on the phone. It doesn't matter what you do. And auditory imagery is actually much more potent than visual imagery. So even if you can't imagine and see a picture of this in your mind, you can replay a conversation in your mind. You can remember a conversation, and conversations for manifestation are actually much more powerful because you can be much more specific. You can say exactly what you want to happen, and looking at something, looking at a picture of something doesn't necessarily mean that you have manifested it. So the conversation is going to solidify this manifestation. So now that you are in the scene, you are going to bring the where into the imagination, and you're going to be talking about that with somebody else, whether it's in person or on the phone. And what you're going to say to them is you are going to talk about the method in which the money came to you, and then talk about how you're so grateful that you've now received the object that you've spent the money on. So for example, you are going to say to them something like, isn't it amazing that I have won all of this money and I keep winning all of this money every single month, and I'm now living in this dream home. Or you might be sitting with your partner looking out to the sea on the beach, and you might say to them, isn't it amazing that you're earning so much money that we can now go on vacation every single year to this stunning location? Or you might be talking to somebody and say something like, isn't it amazing that because of how much my business is earning every single month, I have now managed to help 500 homeless people to find accommodation? And then that person then needs to confirm this back to you and say something like, yes, it's amazing that you earn over 10 grand a month now. So we've created this reverse memory, which puts us in the scene of actually using the thing that we want to manifest, and also brings in the method of how we got the money in the first place, because we're actually telling somebody in a conversation. So this needs to be a very short scene, and what you are going to do is you're going to loop this reverse memory over and over and over, and I recommend you do this when you first wake up in the morning and also when you are going to sleep. Just see it in your mind, hear the conversation over and over and over and over again, and this is what manifests. And this is what I help people to do in my business manifestation club. The sky is the limit when it comes to business earnings, and you get to have that fulfillment of creating something that somebody else values enough to give you money for it. This manifestation technique is guaranteed to work. You need to keep doing that. I recommend do it for 30 days until it becomes a memory in your mind. And then if I asked you about it, what was your memory? You'd immediately be able to tell me, because it's a very vivid memory in your imagination, and that is what will manifest. And then after that, you might need to maintain it by doing it once a week after that. Now, the only thing that can actually block your manifestation is you overriding your manifestation with a belief that is higher up on the hierarchy of beliefs. And this is something that I teach in my business manifestation club. We manifest what we want in our businesses and in our lives, and then we completely remove anything that is blocking these manifestations from happening. We have a fantastic community in there of business owners and aspiring business owners, or those people who make a living by providing their services in return for money. We have different challenges every single month. It's really fun and it really works. I also have guided meditations that you can use to walk you through all of these processes, and I also have live coaching calls. You can ask me your questions, and whether or not you can make the coaching call, I will answer your questions. So any questions that you have on this process, I will answer them in there. And so that you can see everything that you are getting in this system, I have actually given you a 7-day trial completely free, so you can come and join without it costing you a single penny for 7 days. So you can give it a try and see if it's for you. You can cancel at any time. You can cancel yourself. You don't even need to ask. You just click a button to cancel. It's that easy. So come and join us and let me know what you think. Let me know what you've manifested. And you can join by going to kathkyle.com/club. And I can't wait to see you in there. And now it's your turn to go and put your stamp on the world.